Entertainment news. Christian Slater's father is suing him for defamation. Really? Christian said his dad, who is also an actor, was suffering from manic depressive schizophrenia. The older Slater goes by the stage name of Michael Hawkins and is suing Christian and his ex-wife for slander, libel, defamation of character, intentional interference with prospective economic advantage, invasion of privacy, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. He denies he has mental illness and blames his son for ruining his career. Christian said this in an interview 2 months ago and again last June. His dad is 80 years old, and his last film was Midnight Run in 1988. Sounds like his career was already pretty much done. Erin Andrews seems to have a much better relationship with her father. He is saying that the whole Peeping Tom episode she was involved in has made her afraid of people. This was his testimony in the trial against the hotel she was staying in, who she believes was responsible for allowing a man to watch her and shoot video while she was changing clothes. The hotel gave the man her room number and booked him in a room right next to her. Her dad says before this she was fun-loving and happy, and now doesn't trust anyone and is depressed. Of course. In the trial, it was brought up that the video was a ploy by her to get more publicity. Really? Chrissy Teigen isn't looking for more publicity either. The pregnant wife of John Legend and co-host of Lip Sync Battle and Fab Life published a cookbook called Cravings. She wondered why, after it was published, that she was getting a lot of phone calls. After about the 100th call, she knew something was up. There was a picture in the cookbook with her dog in the background. On the dog's collar is Chrissy's personal phone number. It's not noticeable at all, meaning people intentionally went over it looking for such a thing. Really? She had to change her phone number. Those were definitely some alert fans. Spoiler alert if you haven't watched last night's Survivor. The Braun tribe is anything but alert. I think they're right up there with the worst of them in terms of being inept. At a time when they need the strongest players for tribal wins, last week they eliminated Darnell, one of the strongest players, solely because he dropped the scuba mask and it slowed them down a little. They chose to keep the tiny blonde who lost the puzzle challenge for them in camp and does nothing. This week they lost again, and Blondie was the next to go. But Jenn talked about doing a girls' alliance, but didn't want to lose Scott's faith in her, so she decided to vote out Blondie anyway. But she talked about it at tribal council in front of Scott and all the others, alerting them to her possibly having another alliance. Really? She was a lock to stay until then, but then was voted out while Blondie again stayed. So now they're down to 4, and one of those isn't good at challenges. I don't know how they're going to pull together to save themselves.